we're going to look at the new Human Rights Watch report that came out a few months ago that actually documents this. And I'm going to read you some of the excerpts from it. Death penalty for fags. Gays are the only minority that has come from the majority. Usually when you have blacks or Jews or a minority that has been persecuted, they've had their houses and their families to turn to, so they've had some sort of protection and support. Gays don't have that. So what has happened is gays have formed a transnational community where they help and rely on each other. Homosexual violence definitely could fall into the category of genocide. Plato argued that the best soldiers, the best warriors, are gay warriors. They're the best. Plato said for an army to be successful, it has to have lots of gay soldiers. Not just gay soldiers, they have to be coupled gay soldiers. Sparta followed that. Sparta became one of the greatest military powers in ancient Greece. Because they understood that if you had two gay guys fighting alongside of each other, if Dr. Campbell over here is my significant other and he dies on the battlefield, what am I going to do? Raise out. I'm going to fight until I'm dead with all my effort. And so Sparta and Plato were correct that the best soldiers, the best warriors, are the gays. I'm going to show you a video in a little bit in Iraq where you have a group of gays at a New Year's Eve party, and they're dancing and they're being very gay. They then posted it to Facebook. Every one of them in that room is now dead.
Wow.
Because how many saw them?
More than 4.
Wow.
Exactly. And that's the... But with the words, "You filthy queer, get over here, you bum fucker." I received several kicks from behind and was kicked over to the SS sergeant in charge of my block. The first thing I got from him was a violent blow to my face, and he threw me to the ground. He then brought up his knee hard into my groin, so I doubled in pain. He grinned at me and said, "That was your entrance fee, you filthy faggot swine." The men who wore the big triangles were segregated into the queer block. The queers, as they were called, were forbidden to speak with prisoners from other blocks. The reason was they were concerned the queers might try to succeed in seducing the other inmates. Gay prisoners were required to sleep with only their nightshirts, only their shirt, so the bottom half was completely exposed, and had to keep their hands outside the blankets to prevent from masturbating. The windows, it was so cold that the windows had a centimeter of ice on them. The guards would come in periodically throughout the night, a couple every hour. And if you were found in bed with your underclothing on or your hands under the blanket, you were taken outside and had several bowls of water poured over you, and you were left outside to freeze. Nobody ever returned. That was the punishment for gays if you were caught underneath the blanket or with clothes on other than your shirt. Homosexuals were the lowest and most expandable group. They could just be eliminated. Nobody wanted to deal with the gays. So they were rejected not only by the SS guards, but they were then rejected by all the other inmates. So you had the middlemen that were the prisoners. The rest of the prisoners dealt with the middlemen then dealt with the SS guards. The middlemen would not have anything to do with the gays. They were given the worst jobs. They were ignored. They were beaten not only by the guards, but by the other inmates, because they were gay. So the solution, if we're going to win the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, is you kill the fags. You kill them, and then we'll have better socioeconomic conditions in the United States. Homosexuals are possessed by demons. Now, these are different protesters, a whole other group over gay marriage. This is somebody in Africa, Zimbabwe, who was just tortured a few weeks ago. Well, it's probably a few months now. And he was left there to die. Homosexuality is ugly, as the devil wicked. Basically, this is a protest in Africa to stop. They're trying to pass laws in Uganda to ban same-sex marriage and to not only ban it, but to lock up gays and make it criminal so they go to prison and they can then be executed. They insulted him and took him in front of his parents. All that I heard later from his family. He was found in the neighborhood the day after. They had thrown his corpse in the garbage. His genitals were cut off and a piece of his throat was ripped out. Since then, I've been able to speak properly. I feel that my life is pointless now. I don't have friends, others, that I can't see them. For years, it has just been me and my boyfriend, myself. We've done everything together. I have no family. They've rejected me. I can't go back to them. There's death warrants on my life because I'm gay. They know I'm gay. They know where I live. I feel the best thing I can do is kill myself. In Iraq, murderers and thieves are respected more than gay people. Their measuring rod to judge people is who they have sex with. It is not their conscience. It is not by how they conduct their lives or their values. It is who they have sex with. The person who tells this story has also since been killed. He is one of the ones that had his ass glued and fed laxatives to, and they videotaped his death. Second story I'm going to read you just occurred. It was committed by the security force that we have hired, we have trained, and we have put in power, well, in the government. They're basically the police force behind the government. So when you hear the Iraqi government say, we have nothing to do with this, it's a lie. For days, there were severe beatings and constant humiliation and insults. I was in prison 25 days and tortured lasted 25 days. There were 9 in all, working in groups of 3. And every day they changed the group of 3. And every day there was a ranking officer and 2 lower rank. The 3 would torture me every day for 5 to 6 hours. It was the same form of abuse every day. They beat me all over my body. And when they would hang me upside down, they used me as a punching bag. That happened every day. Now I have migraines because I spent so much time upside down. I have tremors, headaches. They use electric shocks all over my bodies and on my balls. They raped me. Over 3 days, I was towered to the first day, 15 of them raped me. The second day, 6. The third day, 4. There's a bag over my head every time. Then there was one officer among the 9 that raped me that tried to help. He was part of the torture team as well. But he said he had avoided sending the police report on me to the judge because the judge would sentence me to death. He told me he would save my life if I gave him a $5,000 bribe. One day they took me to the top floor where there was a little window straight into the courtyard and gave me binoculars to look at. I could see where 5 men from the cell were first arrested. They were lying dead. They had been executed. But because I paid the $5,000 bribe to the police officer, he freed me.